sleep deprived, and heavily caffeinated.
All right, let's do this then.
This is the Jeff and Bill Show.
I don't agree with that.
They don't always agree, but hey, at least they have coffee.
Coffee.
And each other.
Love you, man.
God help us.
I want to bless him. We need all the help we can get.
Now here's Jeff Hunt and Bill Thorpe. The Jeff and Bill Show on News Talk 710 KNUS.
Nine a.m. on the Friday, July 18th, 2025. Good morning, Denver, Colorado. You've tuned in to the Jeff and Bill Show. By this time of the show, Billy and I chock full of Cato's coffee.
Oh, it's so delicious. So good.
It's a sponsor of the Jeff and Bill Show. We love these folks, not only because they help keep this radio program going, which is very important in these days and times of broadcast media, but it's great coffee. And when you purchase a portion of it, it goes to help doggies, which we all love. Our family raises Colorado Mountain Dogs, these wonderful working dogs that go to ranches all throughout the western United States to guard livestock. And to be able to support an organization that supports dogs is great. And you get wonderful coffee. Go to catoscoffee.com. That's KATOS. KOFFEE.com, KATOSKOFFEE.com. If you use Jeff and Bill 10 to code at checkout, Jeff and Bill 10, you'll get 10% off. Here's some of the blends they have. They have a Bali Blue, a breakfast blend, a Peru, 6-bean blend, French vanilla, cowboy blend, Mexican blend, Italian roast. Then they have some teas here as well. So if coffee's not your thing, you can grab some teas. They have a chai, an apple cider, a mango treat, jasmine, hibiscus berry tea, English breakfast. Catoscoffee.com, KATOSKOFFEE.com. It fires us up. We love it. And you support dogs. Jeff and Bill 10. At the checkout, no spaces, Jeff and Bill 10. All right, phone lines lighting up. We're going to talk NPR, PBS, getting its funding cut. And it is time, from my perspective, it is absolutely time that taxpayers no longer fund NPR or PBS. There's no point. Right? Maybe you could make the argument when there were 4 channels on broadcast television that one could be publicly funded and you'd have Sesame Street and all that. All the media's changed. It's all different right now. And there's no reason when we are $37 trillion in debt to continue to fund this, let alone the fact that they're not balanced in the reporting. Right? In itself. There's no reason to spend. Technology's changed. But then the fact that they become so progressive in their funding and we are supporting that with taxpayer dollars, time for it to end. Very happy Republicans got this done. All right, now it's time for News and Comment with Blake Olson.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, News and Comment.
TGIF, 78 and sunny in Denver. Going to be a beautiful day, expecting a high of 90 this afternoon. This portion of the news sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story.
I get that he's pissed off, okay? And he's not wrong. This Wall Street Journal piece is a hack job.
And Chris Cuomo is right. DJT asking why Dems did not release files in connection to Epstein's case. The convicted sex offenders' files have captured the public's attention, of course. 47 posted on Truth Social, if there was a smoking gun on Epstein, why didn't the Dems, who controlled the files for years and had Garland and Comey in charge, use it? DJT directed AG Pam Bondi to release relevant grand jury testimony in Epstein's case. 47 says he's going to sue Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal over the garbage story that's out today. All the insiders who just hate DJT. They hate him and they hate him and they hate him.
Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop.
.47 posting, I absolutely love that Stephen Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. Let's hope so. Colbert announced it last night.
I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And
yes.
Yeah, I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. And I do want to say that the folks at CBS have been great partners.
You're gone. See ya. See you later. Stephen, you're not funny. Colorado's Secretary of State Jenna Griswold investigating calls placed by a Republican consultant who allegedly asked for access to local voting equipment. Grizzy says it's another serious attempt to undermine the state's election systems, and she knows all about that. She tried to keep 47 off the ballot in Colorado. Here is Queen Grizzy.
It is a crime to access in an unauthorized way voting equipment in the state of Colorado. You just have to look at what Tina Peters did. She's serving a 9-year sentence right now.
About a dozen county clerks were contacted by Jeff Small, who claimed to be a consultant calling on behalf of the White House. Small allegedly asked if the clerks would allow third-party access to their voting equipment. Griswold praised the Republican clerks for following the law and denying Small's request. House lawmakers passing a package that includes $9 billion in DOGE spending cuts. GOP members voted along party lines Thursday to approve funding cuts that included NPR. The bill now heads to DJT's desk for his signature. TSA once again opening 2 new airport security lanes, one for military families and their families, and also for families with young children. The daughter of murder suspect dentist James Craig says her father ordered her to create fake evidence following her mother's death. Annabelle Craig testified Thursday in the trial of her father, and it continues. Craig was Billy's dentist and also Stephen Tubbs' dentist, and Stephen with the guys this morning.
That's what the defense is trying to say. It was a love-filled marriage with a flawed husband. But suffice it to say, this has been one of the most bizarre cases that I've certainly been a part of, that I've followed, and I just don't know what is going to be. We always wondered what the defense was going to be, and if one of the defenses is, yeah, she wanted to poison herself, and she's this sick, and she was playing chicken or whatever for years and years, and now are we all supposed to believe she killed herself?
And Stefan is in for John Caldera tomorrow morning from 7 to 9 right here on 710 KNUS. Going to be a great show.
By the way, got a text message from Stefan. He's in the courtroom.
Oh, he is?
He is.
Oh, wow.
You're definitely going to want to listen to him tomorrow.
That's going to be great.
Dude, I mean, he was a patient of James Craig.
everything. I mean, everything is perfect to listen to the show tomorrow. He is, Stephen has been in such huge courtrooms and cases and experienced, wise, veteran reporter, and had the guy drill on his teeth. And he's going to be on the show tomorrow. That is great, great information. Thank you, Jeff. CNN's Abby Phillip, oh, she's a genius, trying to say that 47 may be on the Biden path mentally and physically after the minor health news we heard on Thursday.
This whole thing is a little bizarre, and if this were Joe Biden, I think you would be screaming from the rooftops right now.
Well, Joe Biden said his uncle was eaten by cannibals, so I guess we'll have to compare
there's that. There's that too. Absolutely.
There's that too.
Talk to me about it. I mean, why is that more concerning than what has happened this week? He didn't even remember appointing his own Fed chair.
Oh my God! And she goes.
It's
on
vein
and
issues. The president has issues with his veins. Yes,
Right.
the same. We're at the same level of where we were with Joe Biden.
It's almost identical. It's just amazing, man. Amazing. Hey, the British Open third round is tomorrow and second round today. American Brian Harman leads the pack at 6 under. And it is almost the weekend. 74 Lakewood, 76 Lone Tree, 77 Denver. Jeff and Billy continue, and we made it. We made it despite Billy's almost catastrophe.
Almost lost a finger or two over the course of our vacation, thanks to a circular saw.
He went all week working with his left hand, I think.
Yes, I did.
That's incredible.
No, I just like you, Blake, I play hurt.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That is not easy. I've been thinking about you every day. You've been using that mouse and everything else, all the phones you have to answer, and you're using your left hand.
Dude, some of it is. Here's the weird part, though, is that, okay, I'll take just a moment here.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a series of other injuries throughout the course of my life in which I was forced to use my left hand, so I'm actually fairly dexterous with it, because at one point in my life, I shattered my ring finger on my left hand in 3 places, and so that thing was laid up for a while. So I've done the shower. I've navigated brushing my teeth. I've even taken notes in classes and stuff with my left hand. And so I have the ability. I'm not as lost as most people are, simply because I'm dumb enough to have injured my right arm numerous times and not been able to use it. It's not a pro thing. It's a negative thing, but at least I've got practice.
Well, thank goodness you're ambidextrous.
Yes,
right?
thank you.
and as the late, great Brian Williams once said, he was amphibious, not ambidextrous.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
All right, have a good weekend. Blake Olson, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Temperatures will stay in the 80s today. There will be a few widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. Not as many as the last day or two, but a few will pop up. Low to mid-60s for lows. Back to the lower 90s Friday. Afternoon and evening thunderstorms. A good chance of thunderstorms. Low 90s Saturday. Few thunderstorms. Low 90s Sunday. Weather is a service of L&L Heating and Air Conditioning. For quick, trustworthy, and dependable service, call L&L Heating and Air Conditioning at 720-851-1691. Visit them online at bestdenverhvac.com. You'll be comfortable with L&L. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Well, the phone lines are full. The full phone lines are full.
The fuller phone lines, or the phone lines are full, or fuller the something, I don't know.
It's Friday. It's the final hour.
Yes. It's Friday. Words are hard.
We're full of coffee. All right, let's go to Joe in Arvada. Good morning, Joe. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Hey, Joe, morning.
Good morning, Jeff, Billy. Billy, just a little advice. Man, hire a carpenter.
Dude,
just saying,
Dude, I appreciate that.
You're not in construction, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. And here's the thing, man. Here's the crazy part, okay? I am that person that I'm wired to the point where I look at something like, I could do that. So I go and research it. So I am not saying it is the way you live your life. You end up with all sorts of interesting scars and things going wrong. But yes, I am just dumb enough to sometimes think, I could do that. Fortunately enough, that hasn't hit me when I've gone to rodeo. So that, or fortunately there, hasn't gone that far, my friend. What's on your mind?
Well, that actually reminds me of the guy in what was the golfing movie where he inadvertently lost
Happy
his
Gilmore.
hand.
Yes, Happy Gilmore
Happy
is
Gilmore.
coach. Yes, with the crocodile in his hand. Yes, I love that.
Anyway, actually, I have a couple of things that I've been inspired that Donald Trump has filled me in. It is now going to be Donald Trump's Wall Street Journal.
It might be. It might be.
Why do you think they ran with it? I mean, they spoke directly with the president, the editor, and Rupert Murdoch all spoke with the president, and they still decided to run with it. And I'll be honest, maybe somebody out there goes, yeah, this thing looks legit. But I don't know. I think most people reading that are going, this doesn't smell right. What is going on here? Why do you think they ran it with it, Joe?
I think they don't like money. Look at how they settled with Fox. They settled with Dominion so fast. I think the lawsuit's going to be about $2.5 billion. That way they'll settle for $900 million. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be big. I think somebody didn't learn their lesson when Donald Trump sued. Was it CNN? Oh no, it's George Step on All of Us. That's right.
Oh, yeah, the ABC.
$16 million.
And then and CBS.
So it's got to go up.
Yeah, I don't.
It does.
Now, Joe, the thing for me is that when I look at this is, I wonder why the Wall Street Journal wasted the ink and the column inches on it, because to me, this is a guy who has spoken lewdly about women and referred to them as objects elsewhere in his life, and does have, at least at one point, a friendship relationship with Epstein. This letter, or the fact that he did it, to me is like, okay, it would seem to track based on a friendship and based on lewd behavior. To me, this isn't a scandal. I feel that Wall Street Journal is trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. And for me, that does more damage to their reputation. And I do think that the lawyer department at the Wall Street Journal will have done their due diligence behind the scenes to make sure that if called into court, we can verify the source of where the letter came from, who says it's from Trump, why, despite the refusals to say it's verified by the White House or by Trump.
You got to do more than just have a source, because certain radio stations have learned more. You got to have more than a source.
Oh yeah, you've got to be able to prove it.
You got to go and do some of your research
so
yourself.
You've got to have someone that says, and so that's the idea. And I'm certain that given how litigious Donald Trump is, that the Wall Street Journal lawyers, and again, those are the silk stocking lawyers, they will have gone back behind the scenes. Now, I think Trump's lawsuit is for a settlement. I think that's what he's looking for. He does this a lot. I'm going to sue, and oftentimes doesn't even file the suits. But I do think that Joe's got a point, that if they go and push in this, Wall Street Journal's going to settle. They're not going to want to go to court on this one. They're not going to want to take the time. And again, it's over. For me, it's a stupid story. I'm like, the dude where we have the tape from Access Hollywood, and he drew somewhat of a naughty picture. Woo, scandal. No, not at all. I just, no, this. Yeah, I'm disappointed in the Wall Street Journal by trying to make this a story. That's what I'm disappointed in personally.
Well, it should tell you something, too. The Wall Street Journal, Fox News, Stephen Colbert, all in the same tidy bowl. They are not respectable anymore for credible news. They aren't. Murdoch is going after sensationalism. They're trying to do anything to dirty up Donald Trump. Same with Wall Street Journal. It's all just tabloid material. It's not news
question for
anymore.
You on that one, Joe, just for a second. On the idea of Fox News and Murdoch trying to dirty up the waters around Donald Trump, then why has, in your opinion, Fox News been avoiding the Epstein scandal? And the Epstein scandal has been around a lot of people. I mean, Charlie Kirk's been hitting it hard. Chris DeGaulle before us. It's been on Newsmax. It's been on Breitbart. It's been on One American News. But the one gap I see in conservative coverage so far is Fox. Do you agree? And if so, why do you think that's happening?
Well, I think that Murdoch's tied to Wall Street Journal, so this was a trial balloon. but I think that part of the problem is that there's too many people on the inside of Fox News that knows more about Epstein, and it's just not. I don't think it's enormous. I do think Donald Trump needs to get his arms around it to release the stuff just so that it'll dissipate. Because once everybody realized this was just a pedophile trying to, I mean, he was the equivalent of Hunter Biden. What was Hunter Biden? Was he any big, massive spy for, people? People say he was affiliated with the CIA. But the truth is, Hunter Biden was just a joke trying to make big money by leveraging different people. That's all he was trying to do. And that's exactly what Epstein was doing. But he was also a pedophile. The mistake, I believe Donald Trump made a mistake here, and that is Epstein was a serial pedophile. And there's a lot of kids that are maimed for life, and that isn't something to mess around with. It should have been released. All of it should be released. Now, do they have to redact stuff? Of course. You can't let this kind of junk on the internet, pictures and stuff like that. But I think all of the court filings need to be rolled out. It all has to be put out in front of the American people, and then he can smile and say, I told you it was just another heinous pedophile that needed to be prosecuted properly. Instead, we had Comey's daughter, and it failed. And I think that's going to show up multiple times over her career, that she failed against high-profile prosecutions to do her job.
Joe, appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Joe from Arvada's line's open, 303-696-1971. Let's go to Dave Golden. Good morning, Dave. You're on with Jeff and Bill.
Morning.
Good morning. By the way, how's the budget there? Because Billy answered the phone when I called in, so I was just wondering.
Oh, dude, I am the host. I am the call screener, and I'm also the chief bottle washer. So yeah, there's a lot of things.
Are you getting paid for all those jobs? That's the important thing.
Wait, Dave. We can get paid for this?
You're supposed to.
No. What? Okay, the people at Salem cut me a deal that every other Friday I get to take home whatever's left in the fridge. I thought that was
That's how we tolerate
It's the only way they let me in the building. Yeah, they couldn't possibly with the way that I think. They would not attach Salem dollars to what I think. There's no way.
What's on your mind, Dave?
Leave the Tupperware alone at the back of the fridge.
Thanks. But if it's moving, maybe it's got something in there.
There is. Okay. Well, what I have in mind is when that your last guest with the LGBTQ issue, when that first came on board, you guys had a discussion about it, and at that time, it was one of you brought up the fact that it was kind of like the bridge to nowhere. It was. It's one of those things where with that commission, if in Billy's case, if he's addressed as sir and doesn't like that, he could lodge a complaint. Why not swamp that commission with all these complaints that all us mature members of society don't like?
Well, I mean, that's exactly the point, that it and then you have to drag these business owners before the Colorado Civil Rights Commission, and it becomes a long process. They've got somebody comes down and investigates, and then in Jack Phillips's case, they wanted him and his employees to go through re-education training on how to treat gay people. I mean, it was this big sword, and Jack's business, they didn't just stumble into Jack's business. I mean, they targeted it over and over and over again. So, yeah, this was a law that I don't think was needed. And in its original form, 1312 had all sorts of problems with regards to judges and custody battles between parents that may disagree on the transing of their children. This was really a gift to the trans community, and we've seen that these things can become tools for a lot of intolerance.
Well, I'm just thinking all of us seniors who are retired now can maybe fight the battle anew in this case. So that's all I had. So, and
Hey,
Billy,
thanks, Dave.
St. John Baptist did us all.
Pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts.
There you go. Good job.
Hey, wait, Dave. Live Jesus in our hearts. What's the response?
Live what?
Live Jesus in our hearts. What's the response?
Forever.
Yes, my man. High five. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
The Mullen graduates.
Dude, it is like PTSD. I mean, we can literally. I'll see other friends, and you can greet you can greet people that way. St. John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. Yep, they'll know. They will know.
It's like a sorority.
Yeah, it is.
All right, let's go to Dwayne
Just
and
out the
Divide,
penny
or
rates.
fraternity. All right, Dwayne, you're on with Jeff and Bill.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. By the way, Stumpy, Billy,
Yeah.
I think we should be getting a YouTube shirt going that says, I studied this on YouTube, and I only lost 2 fingers.
That's exactly it. I've got a T-shirt. I've got a T-shirt at home that says, "I take calculated risks, but it turns out I'm bad at math."
Oh, there you go. There you go. Speaking of bad at math, you guys might remember back on October 14th of 2012, Felix Baumgartner jumped out of a gigantic Red Bull Stratos. Yes, flow at 1,357 kilometers or 843 miles an hour. Well, yesterday, unfortunately, and this is no joke, he was paragliding and he tragically stopped existing on this planet.
Oh,
so,
that's awful.
Just a moment to remember that. Well, that part they don't really describe. I mean, it's not like they sit there and say, he was squished between 2, bridge girders. They just kind of said that he had an injury with that, and that was it. But as you say, Jeff, with your 2 days of up on the ranch and everything, don't forget, there's electric wires out there on the fence, and there's goats who dig holes, and, one good trip, you could be sitting there falling down going, how come I can't move? So let's remember that, while we have thrill seekers to show us the excitement of life, and Billy with his, I almost lost 2 fingers, let's remember the most important thing, this man lived a life. This man did not sit there and say, 85 sitting in a chair. No, he stepped every day and made it work. And I always like to sit there and remind you 2 guys, always step up and make things happen. And just a little bit of a reminder that every once in a while, 55 miles an hour is just a suggestion on the speedometer.
Yes, it is,
Just
my friend.
Just saying.
You're the best.
But get those kind of things. And I'm not trying to be a downer. Let's face it. This man stepped up world records. He's went 843 miles an hour. I never got to go that fast when I was in the Air Force, legitimately.
Yeah.
Dude, and he was totally out of control, too. Flipping, remember that?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have any air around him. He was in a vacuum and not a bissel. I mean, he was just truly in a space vacuum for a long time. So there were those type of things. But to remember, most importantly, that every day we could be our last. So let's get out there for the weekend, step up, do the things we need to do, breathe deep, find ourselves in that true possible joy of everything. And don't forget Balaki Alton over there on your new side. That he has to have those moments as well to sit there and find things. And he lives a life worthy of living. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Boredom is nothing more than an idea that hasn't been conceived yet. So try and do your best, have a good time, and this Epstein thing and all the other things going on, it's just, dust and fodder. We'll find something else to talk about shortly. Guys,
that's right.
That's why we have a show.
Have a great time.
Appreciate you, Dwayne. Have a great one, man.
Always good to hear from Dwayne
and
in Divide. All right, we've got the cowboy poet himself, Jeff Hildebrandt, joining us next. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
We are Denver's talk leader, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Wake up, Denver. There's no better place to start your morning than IHOP, where the pancakes are fluffy, the coffee is hot, and the smiles are endless. Wednesday, August 27th. Join Jeff and Bill as they broadcast their show live from IHOP at 1595 South Colorado Boulevard in Denver. You're officially invited to be part of the excitement. Come grab your favorite breakfast and watch the Jeff and Bill Show in action from 6 to 10 a.m. Don't forget to try the special Jeff and Bill breakfast, pancakes, any style eggs, and crispy bacon, all for just $7.10. It's a deal as good as their hot takes. All they need is you. Bring your appetite, bring your friends, and kick off your day with great food and great conversation. See you Wednesday, August 27th at IHOP.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill shows. We like to, on Fridays, we like to take you into the weekend with a little cowboy poetry from Cowboy Poet Laureate, Jeff Hildebrand.
Yeah, well, good morning. How are you?
Great to see you, sir.
Oh, it's nice to be here again. Yeah, really missed showing up and seeing you guys. Well,
he doesn't mean
one
that.
of you.
We had the 4th of July, and then we went on vacation. So I think it's been almost 3 weeks since we had
it
you.
has. Yeah, way too long.
And speaking of vacation, you got a poem about it.
I do. Lots of folks going on vacation right now, and it reminded me that I went to Tombstone one July. Folks shake their heads and ask me why I'd visit that forsaken spot, especially when it's so darn hot. Well, I have no adequate answer except to say I grew up watching tales of old, of outlaws and of heroes bold, like Wyatt Earp, who came to town and settled everybody down. While driving through the vast expanse of creosote and cactus plants, I felt a sense of awe and wonder at the legends launched with six-gun thunder. Arroyos gouged this short scrub land so deep they'd hide a horse and man who'd sit and wait to pounce and prey on anyone who chanced their way. Their ghost must ride this desert still. What else explains the tingling chill and goosebumps on my arms and back while traveling in this sun-baked track? But even stranger, on that day the feelings seemed to go away as I got closer to the town. The spirits just were not around. Wyatt's ghost, some locals say, still keeps the evil souls at bay. But there are stories late at night of unexplained and out of sight that thump across the birdcage floor, walk to the cribs, and close a door. The old West days have long since gone, but with each Arizona dawn, it's clear that Tombstone will survive by keeping history alive. We saddle our imagination and ride to visit each location from Boot Hill to the Oriental. We're drawn by something sentimental just to walk where legends did and live the dreams we had as kids. There's more there than the gunfight scene from movies, books, and magazines. It's the stage where real-life drama played. The weak went east, the sturdy stayed. It's where you learn that cowboy means more than boots and starch blue jeans, more than Colts and campfire food. Cowboy is an attitude. Those old-time cowboys were about taking all that life dished out, from sticking till their job was done, from day's first light to setting sun. It's a lesson we can teach our kids. Live like those old cowboys did. Work honest, hard, lend a hand, ride for the boss, ride for the brand. So maybe now you know just why I went to Tombstone in July. I changed my can't to yes I can in that Arizona frying pan.
That is great.
Oh, wow. That's
I love
cool.
Tombstone, man.
Oh, yeah.
Doc Holliday.
That's quite a journey. That's cool.
Wyatt
Yeah.
Earp.
Yeah, you have to go on the 4th of July for the Doc holiday.
That's good.
Sorry.
I love that.
I'm
I like
sorry.
to slide those in. That's fantastic.
You opened the door.
Yes, you
What
did.
can I say?
Yeah, that's sometimes I talk to my kids a little bit, and they always wonder why I'm such a stickler at making sure you get the work done before you play. They're sometimes wired of, okay, I've done some work, now I'm going to play for a while, and then I'm going to go back and do more work. And part of that was having influences and friends that were cowboys growing up. And I've talked about it, the friends that own a ranch, the Christensen brothers out in eastern Colorado, and going out there and learning from a young age about their work ethic. And I would go out there and, my friends would have chores, and we would go and I'm like, oh, we can go in this. And like, no, I have chores and I've got to get these done and then we can go play.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go around with them. And sometimes it would take an hour. Sometimes it would take several hours. Sometimes it would take half the day or most of the day. But we were there, and it just taught you, though, that yes, the work is done, and then you play. It's not the other way around. You have to make sure that everything's done, and you do it, just like you outline in the poem, until it's done.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah.
That's right.
My kids didn't listen, just in case anyone was knowing. They don't care.
And you got time for another one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure, let's go.
Speaking of working and of playing, give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you know what they say. He'll learn to lie, drink lots of beer, and buy a big old boat. Then he and all his buddies will go someplace remote to spend the weekend goofing off, not working in the yard. And his wife will just get even with her well-used credit card. She'll buy more kitchen gadgets, at least one pair of shoes with matching purse and sweater set. And since it's hard to choose, she'll meet her friends for lattes and ask what they suggest. Then they'll go off together, suddenly obsessed with searching for the perfect blouse and frilly lingerie. So when it comes to fishing, all he has to say is never mind, he's staying home to help around the house. Besides, it's so much cheaper to spend time with his spouse.
That is a great one.
That's good. That's fantastic. That is good. This comes from two guys who sometimes their wives have things show up from the Amazon shipping department that you're like, what's on all the boxes?
Sometimes. It's like every hour. I'm always surprised, too. We live out in the sticks.
Yeah.
You can't deliver a pizza where we live. That's how far we are out. And it's amazing to me that we get like 5 different Amazon deliveries a day. Like they couldn't just combine them all into one?
And they couldn't text you first, and you could say, "Hey, bring a pizza while you're coming."
Yeah, right.
Really?
There you go. Another one for us, Jeffrey.
All right. This is a cowboy's comfort. The sun's sinking low way off in the west, and this cowboy is thinking it's time for a rest because he's been in the saddle since just after dawn, making sure all the cattle stay where they belong. So he steps off his pony and takes off the saddle. Then he hobbles that cayuse so it won't skedaddle when the coyotes start howling their mournful old cry at the moon as it rides through the dusty old sky. His dinner is simple, just beef and some beans. Then he kicks off his boots and loosens his jeans as he pours him some coffee that's boiled up just right. And he sits there just listening to the sounds of the night. It's a lonely old life, that's a fact to be sure, but being alone has a certain allure, because it gives you some time at the end of the day to listen to all that the Lord has to say. See, a cowboy alone sitting there by the fire doesn't need to hear preaching or songs from a choir to know there's a God, because God's there in the breeze, in the sagebrush, in the cactus, and all that he sees. God's footprints, he'll tell you, are plain as the day if you don't let that other stuff get in the way, like worry and fretting, how this or why that, or complaining how unfair things are where you're at. So he pours out his coffee, hunkers on down, and he's hearing God whisper in each little sound, "You can rest easy, partner, and I'll tell you why. 'Cause I'm always right with you, and that ain't no lie."
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah,
I see
beautiful.
the cowboy sitting out under the stars, thinking that very thing right there. Well done. All right, we'll continue. We'll wrap up. You're listening to The Jeff and Bill Show.
We are Denver's Talk Leader, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Man, that Black Eyed Pea advertisement. I'm going to head there for lunch. That sounds delicious.
I'm really hungry.
I'm listening to myself read the own ad. I'm going, mouth watering.
Now, friend of the show, Kathy, stopped by this morning and gave us donuts, and those were absolutely delicious. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Kathy.
Everybody loved it, but I'm still hungry. I'm thinking about that Black Eyed Pea, too. Some of that stuff sounds so
You are always hungry.
Yeah, and my parents kind of had that. It's I wouldn't really be pushing maximum density if I didn't have this problem. That's a problem. That's the issue I got here.
We are wrapping up the show with some cowboy poetry with Jeff Hildebrandt. He's performed these poems on the stages in New York City and Carnegie Hall and all around the Western United States, and he joins us here
He has
in
fallen
the studio.
so far that now he's on the show.
Well, I like listening to old cowboy country music. And
Fantastic.
I remember a song called I Ride in Old Paint, written by Woody Guthrie. I mean, that became really famous. And I was looking at my life and thinking, I've got some old paint in a 2-gallon can. I'm going to Home Depot to get gloves for my hands. I'll need to get brushes and rollers for the walls, a ladder for the ceiling, and at least 2 drop cloths. Ride around in my pickup, ride around real slow, where the parking lot's crowded and there's no place to go. Now there's Bill Jones doing everything he can to fit too much stuff in his small minivan. But try as he will, he's just out of luck. But he smiles when he sees my big pickup truck. Right around in my long bed, there's no place to go, 'cause the parking lot's packed at my Home Depot.
That's a great twist at the end. That's good.
Love it.
Okay. You can picture this.
Yes.
They're in a chair overlooking a valley, and it's quiet and peaceful, and they sit together holding hands as the sun sets past the peaks. The moments pass in silence, then through his tears he speaks. You've stuck with me through bad times. You were there when I got fired. When we lost the house, you didn't leave. Despite what has transpired, you've always been right by my side, slogging through the mire and muck. And only now I realize you really are bad luck.
That's fantastic.
That's what you can only say after you've been married 25 years.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, that my wife and I have this thing where if we're having some sort of a disagreement and you get to that intractability where you're kind of at that point where you're both really angry and nothing's getting done, one of us will break the tension by turning towards an imaginary judge and saying, Your Honor, and that's why I had to kill them. Normally it's her, and she's right.
I think we got time for one more, if it can be about a minute.
Okay. We talk about the cowboy, we talk about the West, and we paint word pictures of a place where the sun goes down to rest. Some recount ranch humors, and they replay the wrecks when horse and rider both went down and bounced like rubber checks. Some talk of creaking leather, or the smell of new-mown hay, or the way the stars light up the sky at night when you're away from all the city lights and traffic noise. It's quiet way out west when you gather around a campfire where the sun goes down to rest. Some rhymers will remind us in their own poetic way that out west did not happen in an accidental way. God chiseled out the flat-top buttes and gouged the canyon land. God set the Colorado's course, and I believe he planned that when we gaze upon the West, its awesome size and scope, that we would be reminded, in the midst of trials, there's hope. God knew we'd need reminding, So he planned this from the start. Because in the end, it's clear, my friend, God's got cowboy in his heart.
Beautiful. I love it.
Oh,
Jeff
it's a great way to end the
Hildebrand,
week.
thank you so much.
Oh,
you can buy his poetry
so nice.
at Amazon.
Yeah, just
Or,
search Jeff Hildebrand. Yep.
You know, anywhere you
Author.
see my car, I'll open the trunk for you.
Is it a paint? All right. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you to Jeff Hildebrand. Thank you to all
Thanks.
of our guests. Jenna
Yes, thank
Ellis
you.
joined us today. Hal Frampton from Alliance Defending Freedom. Stephen Tubbs joined us. He's going to be tomorrow along with Peter Boyles starting at 7. Tune in to 710 KNUS. You're listening to Jeff and Bill.
KNUS, have a great weekend.